Have you ever felt that overwhelming rush of life? Your thoughts just clashing, your body aching, emotions kind of crashing like
Oh,
waves?
definitely. That feeling of too much noise is pretty universal, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But what if, right in the middle of all that chaos, there was this quiet place inside you,
Oh.
always there, just waiting?
That's really the core of what we're diving into today, isn't it? We get so caught up in the external noise, the fixing, the symptoms, but the source material, especially Russell and Healer's work, Stillness, the healer's path, points us inward.
Right, towards this inner refuge, a living awareness.
Exactly. A living awareness that's not just available, but actually fundamental to our well-being, according to the source.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. We're looking at Russell and Healer's insights to sort of find a shortcut to understanding how stillness and this living awareness play a role in healing.
And it's not about fixing yourself or becoming someone new. It's more about what Russell and Healer calls remembering wholeness.
Remembering wholeness. I like that. So we'll unpack what stillness really is, how symptoms can be messengers, not enemies.
Right, and redefine what a healer might actually be, and look at some practical ways to access this inner wisdom, all through the lens of this material.
Okay, let's start with stillness, because it's not what most people think, is it?
No, not at all. Russell and Healer is quite clear. It's not just the absence of sound or thought or even movement. He calls it living awareness itself.
Living awareness itself, what does that mean in practice?
Think of it as this underlying presence. It watches, it holds, and ultimately it allows healing. It's like the ground beneath the storms of your life.
The ground beneath the storms, that's a really comforting image. It's always there, stable, no matter how wild things get on the surface.
Exactly, and it's incredibly close. The source says it's as close as the pause between breaths.
Wow, that close.
Yeah, like a wise friend, just waiting patiently, not judging, not forcing, just there for you to turn towards.
Russell and Healer uses a story about that, right? The man by the river.
He does. This man went to the river for years, but he was always distracted. Music, thoughts, plans. He never really heard the river. Then one day, totally exhausted, he just sat. No distractions. And for the first time, he heard its gentle murmur.
So the stillness, the river sound, it was always there. He just wasn't tuned in.
Precisely. Stillness isn't something you create. It's always here, always flowing. Our attention is just usually somewhere else.
It reminds me of that other metaphor. The mind as a crowded marketplace.
Yeah, full of noise and shouting. And awareness in that metaphor is like a whisper.
A whisper.
And Russell and Healer says that whisper will never compete with the noise. It doesn't shout.
Yeah.
You have to consciously choose to listen for it, to turn towards it.
Okay, so if awareness is this quiet whisper, that totally changes how we look at symptoms, doesn't it? We usually try to just shut them up.
Right. We chase symptoms, as the source puts it. But what if they're not enemies? What if they're actually messengers?
Messengers, like little notes from inside.
Kind of. Doorways to transformation, if we learn to listen differently. And this listening happens on a journey inward, through what Russell and Healer describes as 3 interwoven layers.
Okay, what are those layers?
First, there's the bio layer. That's your physical body, muscles, bones, breath. Healing here feels like relaxation, balance, vitality. It's often where we first notice things, right? Tension, ease.
Said the most obvious place. Okay, so bio layer first. What's next?
Then there's the psychoenergetic layer. This is where your emotions, memories, thoughts, and sort of energetic currents live.
The mental and emotional stuff.
Exactly. And healing here feels like release, like clarity returning, a sense of flow, like unknotting old emotional tangles.
Got it. Bio layer, psychoenergetic layer. And
The deepest layer is the core of living awareness. This is that timeless presence, our fundamental nature.
And healing here is different.
Very different. Russell Healer says it's not felt as change, but as remembrance. You realize you were never actually broken.
Wow. Not fixing, but remembering wholeness, that connects back.
Exactly. It's a profound shift in perspective.
There's a story about this too, isn't there? The woman with the shoulder tension.
Yes, the tightrope story. She had chronic shoulder pain, tried everything. The healer didn't give her exercises, just asked her to listen to her shoulders quietly.
And what did she hear or feel?
She felt they were like a rope pulled too tight. And as she stayed with it, she realized that tension was the physical form of years of holding herself together.
Holding back tears, being strong for everyone.
Right, carrying all that weight. The pain wasn't random, it was a message. And when she finally allowed herself to feel the grief, to cry, the shoulders softened, the rope loosened, the pain was heard.
So the symptom was a messenger. Listening allowed the release. Okay, that clarifies the layers. But let's dig into this living awareness itself. How is it different from just our regular thinking mind?
That's a crucial distinction Ruslan Healer makes. The mind is described as restless. It analyzes, compares, judges, plans, worries. It cannot rest.
Sounds familiar.
Doesn't it? Awareness, on the other hand, does not judge or compare. It doesn't argue or analyze.
Yeah.
It simply sees what is.
Just sees, without commentary.
Without the running commentary. And in that pure seeing, Ruslan Healer suggests it has this incredible effect. It softens what is hard, soothes what is painful, and balances what is chaotic, just by witnessing.
How can we even grasp that? It sounds so subtle.
It is subtle. That's why the Source uses metaphors.
Mhm.
Awareness is like the sky holding the clouds of thoughts. The sky doesn't change no matter the weather.
Okay, I can picture that. The thoughts drift by, but the awareness remains.
Or it's like a mirror. It reflects everything perfectly, thoughts, feelings, sensations, without resisting or holding on to anything. It just shows what is.
And the sun.
And the sun, yeah. Even when clouds cover it, the sun is still there, always shining. Awareness might feel hidden sometimes, but its nature is constant.
There's one more. The ocean and the waves.
Ah, yes. Most of us live in the waves, the constant ups and downs of thoughts and feelings. Restless.
Definitely feels like that sometimes.
But when you remember, you're also the vast, calm, deep ocean beneath the waves, which is awareness. The waves don't seem so scary. You feel them, but they don't define you. You are the ocean.
That really changes the relationship with difficult feelings.
Yeah.
And then there's the broken cup story, to show awareness itself isn't damaged.
Right. The teacher shows a cup, asks if it's whole, then shatters it.
Dramatic.
Very. But then he points out, the awareness that saw it whole is the same awareness that sees it broken. The awareness itself was never broken, only the form changed. Our essential nature remains untouched by experience.
That's a lot to take in. So if awareness isn't broken, how does it heal? If it's not fixing things?
Ruslan Healer says it heals not by fixing, but by holding.
Holding, like
Yeah.
making space.
Exactly, like gently holding a crying child, without judgment, without trying to make them stop crying immediately, just being present with the upset. In that safe holding, the child naturally softens.
So awareness holds our pain, our fear, our confusion.
Yes, it provides space and permission for it to just be. And paradoxically, when pain or grief is held without resistance, it often begins to soften, flow, and transform on its own.
It's about acceptance then, not struggle. Okay. So if this is awareness, what does it mean to walk the healer's path? Is it about becoming a therapist or?
Not necessarily. Ruslan Healer reframes it. Being a healer isn't just a role or a job title. It's a path, a way of being that anyone can cultivate. And it's cultivated primarily through listening.
Listening to others or to ourselves?
Both. Deep listening. And it challenges what the author calls the myth of the fixer.
The idea that we need to jump in and solve problems.
Precisely. The healer isn't a mechanic repairing broken parts. They're more like a gardener tending the soil.
Providing the right conditions, water, light, space, but trusting the natural growth process, not forcing the plant to bloom.
Exactly. Trusting that inherent wisdom within the other person or within yourself.
The story of the silent presence illustrates this beautifully, doesn't it?
It really does. The grieving man visits the healer, and she just sits with him. In silence. Total presence.
No advice, no platitudes.
None. And he later said, her silence healed me more than any words could. It was her presence, her embodied awareness, that created the space for his own healing to happen.
So presence itself is the medicine.
In many ways, yes. And at the core of that presence is compassion. But compassion defined not as pity.
Right, but as the willingness to be with suffering without turning away.
Yes. Seeing the wholeness in someone, even when they feel completely broken. Trusting their journey, holding that space.
And the healer's role isn't to fix, but more like the lamp story.
Yeah, I love that one. You don't drag someone out of a dark room. You just place a lamp nearby so they can find their own way. It's about empowerment.
Not creating dependence. The healing power is ultimately within them.
Always. And interestingly, Ruslan Healer also talks about the wounded healer.
The idea that our own struggles don't disqualify us.
Quite the opposite. Our wounds, when met with awareness, can become doorways to compassion and wisdom. Like a river flowing over stones, the rough edges get smoothed. Pain transforms into a deeper understanding we can offer others.
That makes the path feel much more accessible. It's not about being perfect. Oh, okay, this is all deeply insightful, but how do we actually practice this? How do we touch stillness in our, busy lives.
Well, first, Ruslan Healer gives a gentle warning, which I think is really important, because these aren't tasks to master or techniques to perfect. Trying too hard actually gets in the way. They're invitations, because awareness is already here. It's more about noticing than achieving, softening into it.
Invitations, not chores.
Yeah.
Got it. So what are some simple invitations?
One is the pause that heals. Just noticing that tiny, quiet space between your inhale and exhale. It's always there. A little doorway to awareness.
A pause between breaths. Simple.
Another is listening to silence. Tuning into the silence that's underneath all the background noise, the traffic, the fridge humming, and then sensing that same quality of silence inside yourself.
Finding the quiet beneath the noise.
Okay. Then there's visualizing the sky behind the clouds. See your thoughts as clouds drifting by. Then gently shift your attention to the vast, open sky, the awareness that holds them. Rest in that spaciousness.
Letting thoughts be clouds, focusing on the sky. I like that visualization.
And the mirror of awareness. Maybe look in an actual mirror, notice any judgments that pop up in your mind.
My hair looks weird today.
Exactly. Notice those thoughts. And then sense the awareness behind the thoughts, the part of you that simply sees the reflection without any judgment at all, that unchanging mirror.
Sensing the observer behind the critic. Interesting. What about when we feel physical or emotional pain?
For that, there's holding the wounded part. You literally place a hand gently on the area that hurts, physically or emotionally, maybe internally whisper, "I see you, I am here."
Acknowledging it.
Yes. And then imagine awareness itself, like warm, patient hands, holding that part with compassion, not trying to force it to change, just being with it kindly. It subtly changes your relationship to the sensation.
Just holding it gently. Okay. These seem doable, even in small moments.
That's the idea. Ruslan Healer also suggests weaving it into your day with daily awareness check-ins. Tiny moments, like hand on heart in the morning, awareness guide me, or just one conscious breath mid-afternoon. Micro practices.
Keeping that connection alive throughout the day, and for those specifically interested in the healer's path for others.
There are practices like listening without agenda, really creating that open, non-judgmental space for someone else. Self-compassion, hand practice, feeling your own compassionate touch. And the lamp meditation, consciously radiating a gentle, allowing presence, all extensions of the same core principle.
It all comes back to cultivating that presence, that awareness.
It really does. It's about remembering that fundamental truth the Source keeps pointing to. Awareness is here, and it has never left you. It's not something you need to find. It's what you are.
And that really brings us full circle, doesn't it? This whole deep dive has shown that stillness and living awareness aren't just nice ideas. They're presented as the actual source of healing. Always here.
Exactly. Always within you, just waiting to be remembered, not achieved. As Ruslan Healer puts it, healing is not something you achieve, it is something you allow.
It's about remembering who you already are. Whole, aware, alive.
That's the core message.
So maybe the thought to leave everyone with, something to just sit with today, is that simple, powerful truth. Awareness is here, it has never left you, and the doorway is always stillness.